Hey, Richard Redd here with Sierra Madre Research. Today we're going to go over how to set up the hammock system inside of the Nube. We call that the Navigator combo. First, I'll point out that I've got the Nube with the Nube stake bag. I've got the Explorer hammock, and I've got the Paris hammock. Now when you order the Navigator combo, you get each of these pieces of gear, a set of easy slings, and 4 carabiners. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the easy slings that we're going to use to hang both of our hammocks from. I keep the easy slings in the Paris bag, which makes it a lot easier to keep up with. I've selected 2 trees. Both of them are very stable and they can bear my weight. One thing you want to do is you want to space off the distance between the 2 trees and make sure that it'll be suitable. We recommend any space between 10 and 15 feet. We're about 5 paces. That equals about 15 feet. So I'll start with my first set of easy slings. And you'll see that I'm setting this up above my head and I'm wrapping it a couple of times because we've got a very narrow tree. Simply wrap it around, thread it through your provided loop on the webbing. You're ready to go. I'm going to try and keep these about even distance from the ground. Now if you're on a slope, that distance may change a little bit. So keep that in mind and try and set them up so that you're level with your horizon. And if they're not, you can adjust those very easily. Just loosen the webbing and move them where you need to be. Okay, now that we've got our easy sling set up, the next thing we want to do is set up our Nube. To start, we'll remove the stake bag. That's not necessary right now. And we'll undo our Nube. Just release the 4 buckles for the compression system and move the compression flap to the side. Go ahead and pull out the whole Nube. Set your bag by your other gear. First thing you want to do is locate the sky hooks. We've got one right here and one right here. These are at the top portion of the rain flap portion of the Nube. These are what suspend your Nube. It's very important to level out between the true trees as best you can. So I'm going to start with this sky hook. Using my line lock system, I've kept my guy wire nice and neat. And I'm just going to unravel that. And gauge about how far I think the middle will be for the Nube. Now you want to place this suspension line just above your easy sling system. And all I'm doing to attach this to the tree is tying a friction knot. Now if you don't know how to tie the friction knot, don't worry, we've got plenty of videos to go through how to tie the friction knot on our website at smrgearme.com. So once I've tied that, and I'll take my other sky hook to the opposite tree. I'll set it up. Now this second portion is very important to get it very tight. What you want to do is you want to wrap it around the tree and then you want to use your strength and leverage with the friction of the tree to hold your rope tight. You see how I've got it very straight and tight at the top? Now, I'm betting I need to come down just a little bit with this to even it out. Okay, so wrapped it around, pull, tighten it nice and tight, and then I'm going to tie my second friction knot. Now, these lines don't bear any weight other than the Nube. Your gear stash is loaded through your Easy Sling system. That's very important. You always want to have your gear stash hooked up to your Easy Slings, or else you're supporting the entire weight of the gear stash with these 3mm Spectra cords. Okay, so we got that nice and tight. Right now I've got my bug netting rolled back, keep it out of the way and keep it out of the leaves and sticks and so forth, and that protects it a little bit. When I store my Nube, that's usually how I store it. So now I can see I've got a good, nice, tight ridge line up top. I've got my Easy Sling set up nicely, and I'm ready to go ahead and stake out the Nube. First thing I'll do is I usually start in the center. I'll take the 2 center line locks and my guy lines for those. Quickly undo those, and I'll stake those off. Now what you want to do with the first one you set up in the center is kind of pull it down and not pull too tightly, but get a nice tension there. You can see it kind of forms a straight line going up to your ridge line. And then you want to take the opposite center tie out point and you want to really tighten it down nice and tight. This will keep you stable with wind and a storm that blows in. Again, take advantage of the line locks that we put on the Nube. It'll really help you keep your gear lines organized and quick, make for a quick setup of the Nube. So I've pulled that nice and tight, and I've got a little bit of an arch in the middle of the Nube, but not much, and that's okay, that's what I want. Now I'm going to stake off my corners. And one thing that's important when you're staking your corners off is you don't want to set up straight out like you did your center tie point. What you want to do with these is you actually want to pull them back towards your tree. You see how I'm off here to the side of the tree, and what that does is it creates a lot better tension system for the Nube. Whereas if I was like this. So I'll just stake these out and get those nice and tight. Now the reason it's important to get your Nube ridge line up by your sky hooks tight is because as you're pulling these out and staking them down, you're applying some pressure, and you're going to need that extra height to keep your Nube rigid in a storm. Another great benefit of the way we design these wings, instead of going out here and we made them go back towards the tree, so it gives you a nice big space to enter and exit your Nube. All right, so now we're done setting up the Nube. I'm gonna just put my stake bag right there so I don't lose it. And I'm basically done with my Nube stuff sack. Now what I wanna do is I wanna hang my Paris hammock inside of the Nube, and then I'm gonna come back in and hang my Explorer hammock.